The legendary names of American retailing file for bankruptcy.
In the United States, several major department store chains have gone bust.
Consumers are just not shopping at malls as much as they used to.
Did you know that the US retail industry is facing a crisis that has been years in the making? From the rise of e-commerce to the decline of the middle class, the reasons for the retail apocalypse are complicated and multifaceted. And with the pandemic wreaking havoc on the industry, things are getting scarier. But fear not, we have gathered 10 strange and surprising facts about this retail apocalypse that will blow your mind. So grab your popcorn and get ready for a wild ride. And stick around to the end, because we've left some jaw-dropping insights into what the future of retail might look like. You won't want to miss this. Number 10. The future of shopping malls in the US. Experts predict a significant decline due to the growing popularity of e-commerce platforms. The US retail sector is undergoing a significant transformation, and it is anticipated that shopping malls will see some turbulence. Over the next 15 years, retail specialist Howard Davidovitz predicts a decrease in malls from 1,200 to 550. That's a significant decrease that demonstrates how much the retail environment is shifting away from physical business. The culprit? E-commerce, as you probably predicted. With more firms choosing digital storefronts over physical ones, online shopping is more popular than ever. Malls are therefore finding it difficult to stay competitive, which has resulted in a decline in both foot traffic and sales. Due to the downturn, many malls now have vacant space, which deters potential tenants. However, this change will have an influence on jobs and the economy as a whole, in addition to how people shop. As malls continue to collapse, there will be employment losses in the retail industry, which will imply less money pouring into local economies. Because of this, organizations, decision makers, and customers all need to be aware of these developments and adjust as necessary. It's possible that empty retail areas may be put to new use, e-commerce will receive more funding, or mall design will entirely change to better serve today's shoppers. So let's be cautious and embrace the change. Number 9. Retail job market suffers as industry faces major challenges. According to MarketWatch specialists, general merchandise retailers have eliminated 15,700 jobs over the past year, while department stores have fired close to 30,000 workers. Why? Because fewer individuals are making purchases than they once did, retailers now have a large surplus of goods that they are unable to sell. For 10 full months, fun, non-essential item sales have been declining, and the top executives of these businesses are issuing warnings that more employees will be lost in the future. Yikes. It's crucial for everyone to pay attention and adapt to the changes, since this is a significant matter for the retail industry and the entire economy. Number 8. Retail industry shakeup. 5,300 store closures announced in 1.5 years, triple the amount in 2019, says retail think tank. The number of retail shop closures has been rapidly increasing over the past 15 months, according to Fund Global Retail and Technology, a think tank for the industry. In fact, they discovered that there was an astounding 5,300 announcements of retail shops closing, which is 3 times the number reported in 2019. That's a significant increase that shows how rapidly the retail sector is evolving. But why so sharp? There are a few reasons to be sure. One reason of the growth of e-commerce is that an increasing number of individuals are opting to shop online rather than visiting physical businesses. Brick and mortar stores are under pressure as a result and are finding it difficult to compete. The pandemic, which has adversely affected the retail sector, is another factor. Numerous businesses were forced to temporarily close their doors, while some had to permanently close. It's not all bad news either. As a result of this transformation, new innovations and ideas are emerging. Businesses are discovering new channels for connecting with consumers, such as social media and smartphone apps, and there is an increasing emphasis on sustainability and moral behavior. Therefore, even if the retail sector may be having a difficult time, there is still a lot of room for development and expansion. Over the coming years, it will be interesting to see how things change and improve. Number 7. Over 500 stores permanently shut down each month, with 1/3 being retail stores. Get this, a large number of stores have closed in the United States over the past year. According to a recent report from the bankruptcy courts in the United States, 544 stores were permanently closed every month on average over the previous year. That is a lot of stores, which is bad news for the retail sector. And of the 169 monthly store closures, about a third involved retail establishments. There are a lot of vacant storefronts, which indicates that there are going to be fewer places where consumers can go and find goods they want. The causes of these store closures are numerous and diverse, ranging from modifications in customer behavior to the COVID-19 pandemic's effects. But one thing is for certain, the retail sector is undergoing a significant change, and companies must adjust if they want to survive. What the future holds for American retail stores is still up in the air. Will brick-and-mortar stores make a comeback, or will e-commerce platforms continue to rule the retail world? Number 6. US retail industry. Number of store openings dwindles to a record low, according to analyst data. It looks like things aren't going too well for the US retail industry. The most recent analyst data shows that during the past few years, there have been a staggering 40,000 fewer retail store openings. We haven't witnessed a worse performance in the last 6 years. This reduction indicates that many merchants are finding it difficult to adapt to shifting consumer preferences and the growth of e-commerce. Although the business is going through a difficult moment, there may be a chance for forward-thinking merchants to stand up and reinvent the shopping experience for today's consumers. Number 5. US retail industry struggles as empty storefronts multiply 5-fold in 5 years. Did you know that in the United States, there are currently 1.2 billion square feet of empty retail space just sitting around in cities and malls? That's enough space to hold over 20,000 football fields. And get this, in just 5 years, the number of empty stores has increased by a whopping 5 times. It's difficult to understand how much has changed in only 5 years in the US retail market. According to Bloomberg Research, the number of idle retail outlets has grown 5-fold throughout this time. A lot of people are left inquiring as to whether the trend will continue, and if so, what the long-term repercussions will be for the US economy. It is obvious that the retail sector is changing significantly, and organizations, decision makers, and customers must be aware of these developments and make adjustments in accordance with them. The future of retail will definitely look significantly different from what we're used to now, whether that means figuring out new ways to utilize vacant retail locations or investing in cutting-edge technologies and shopping strategies. Are there any new stores on the horizon? Number 4. US retail sector struggles to find workers during the holidays. Typically, the holiday season is the busiest time of the year for businesses because so many people are out shopping for presents and deals. However, the forecast for the holiday season this year isn't looking great, which is prompting some retailers to take urgent measures. Number 3. Retail apocalypse. Experts predict thousands of store closures in the coming years. By the middle of 2024, more than 8,600 retail sites will be permanently closed, according to Credit Suisse. Businesses, decision makers, and consumers all need to be aware of these patterns in order to be ready for what might be a significant change in the retail sector. Number 2. 18 major retailers file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in Q1 2022, according to professional services firm. In the first quarter of 2022, 18 significant retailers filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. Number 1. Retail sales take a hit as Americans tighten their belts. Normally, the holiday shopping season is a happy and festive time, but in November of last year, sales in stores fell for the first time since the financial crisis. Despite significant sales occasions like Black Friday and discounts on a range of products, Americans are dedicated to making cuts and navigating the coming financial challenges. Businesses struggle with tight credit conditions as huge layoffs occur on a weekly basis, and customers are cutting back on spending as a result of increased living costs. This pattern is predicted to culminate in a string of underwhelming company profit reports, which will probably prompt further store closures and bankruptcy filings. Over the past 10 years, the US retail business has faced extraordinary difficulties, and the epidemic has only made matters worse. A few of the elements that have contributed to the ongoing retail apocalypse are the shrinking middle class, the growth of e-commerce, and the rising cost of living. Looking ahead, it is obvious that the sector will continue to experience profound change and that only the most creative and adaptive companies will thrive. These 20 unexpected facts about the US retail apocalypse are intended to be both educational and eye-opening. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this, and we'll see you in the next video.